Hey, what's up, guys? We're back with Motivation Monday. And today I want to start with a quick story that happened to me when I was at the gym a year to a year and a half ago. So I'm at the gym working out. I get done with the machine and I go to move to another machine. And I didn't see somebody's water bottles at this machine. So I set the weight, I start my workout, and a gentleman comes up to me, angry. He's heated. He goes, "What the heck, bro?" And he said some things that I'm not going to say on here. I want to keep it PG. But he said, "What the heck, bro? You didn't see my stuff right there. I'm using this machine, like, blah, blah, blah." And immediately I wanted to react. I wanted to let this guy have it. I wanted to get angry. I wanted to get aggressive. And I wanted to be like, "All right, what's up, man? Like, we can do this right here, right now." We're in a public gym, so that wouldn't have been smart. But a Bible verse from Proverbs came to my head, and it goes like this: "A soft answer turns away wrath." So I saw a guy that was very heated, that came up to me, and do I believe that this gentleman was in the wrong and that it was way blown out of proportion? Yeah, of course I do. But I took a deep breath and I said, "You know what, man? I'll come back and use this machine later. Just let me know when you're done. I apologize. I'll go use something else." And immediately his countenance changed. The first thing he said back to me was, "You know what, man? You could work in with me. That's fine." So I work in, and he walks away. And 5 minutes later, he comes back to me and he says, "Hey, man, I want to apologize to you. What I did was unacceptable. I'm going through some really hard times in my life right now." And the first thing I realized is, wow, when you apply the word of God to your life, it works. A soft answer just turned away wrath. I see it. But the second thing I realized was, you can't always fight fire with fire. Was that guy in the wrong? Sure. Would I be justified in maybe approaching him the same way he approached me, in aggression, in anger, and that? Maybe. But what would I have gotten out of that? What would I have gotten out of giving him the reaction that maybe he wanted? You know, you could get in a physical altercation, and you can go to jail for assault, or we could be screaming at each other in a public place and just look like fools. So, and it was very hard for me, guys, because I'm not perfect. And there's times in my life where I have reacted in a bad way, where I have tried to fight fire with fire, and burn the whole thing down. But what I realized in this situation was, it's not always wise to do that. I realized that even if I looked foolish in the eyes of other people, even if, to prove a point to this guy that he can't treat people like this, it was actually more rewarding, because he came back and he apologized and he opened up to me and he said, "Man, you don't deserve this. I'm going through some hard things in life." And that's not excusing what he did. I'm not here to excuse and just let people walk over you like a doormat. But the amazing thing that happened from this situation was, I haven't seen this guy in a while in the gym. I hope he's doing well. But every time I saw this guy in the gym after that, he would always come up to me, "Hey, man, how are you doing?" And we actually started building rapport. And I always thought back to my first encounter with him, how wrong it could have gone. So the motivation for today is, don't just react. Don't fight fire with fire. I'm not going to call you guys to do easy things on these. That's not my style. And it's weird, because sometimes when I'm driving, I get mad at when people cut me off, and I've cut people off before. They're all right. We're all right. We haven't crashed. Let them be. So my challenge today is just to, when someone is hostile towards you, when someone approaches you a certain type of way, when someone treats you bad, don't reciprocate that. Do your best to try to mitigate and extinguish a situation that could go from bad to worse. And it's amazing what will happen sometimes when you do this. God bless.